Welcome to Puckin Around podcast. Join the gang, Carmen, Mike, Mika and Daryl for some Puckin talk.
You know what? I think I may have been wrong about a certain player that I've always talked a lot about in the past. So I think I'm going to discuss a bit about him. Before we get to that, just wanted to say welcome to the second video for Puckin Around. Again, it's just me. I'm just doing an update, and if it wasn't for what the Oilers did in the Ottawa game, this would have been a rant where I would have just probably just gone off and said some really hurtful words and been mean to quite a bit of players, but the Oilers managed to pull out a win against Ottawa, so that was good to see. But at the same time, there were also some negatives going into that. But first comes first. What I'm going to discuss is like I said, a certain player who's managed to start the year better than a lot of the other players on the Edmonton Oilers, and his name. A lot of people on X or Twitter, whatever the heck you want to call it, they know what this player's name is. They've been getting at me a lot about him, and that player is Stuart Skinner. But before we get to that, just wanted to give an update on the podcast and these updates. Yeah, the background is still a work in progress. It's not much, but it's better than just staring at a blank wall where it looks like I'm in jail or something. And I am getting a microphone and a webcam, so the quality will be much better than what you're looking at right now. I just feel like, yeah, it'll look much better than what you're looking at right now, and hopefully more inviting. Anyway, so let's get to Stuart Skinner. So, based off all the players that we've seen come through Edmonton as of right now for the last 2 years, one player who's always not been that great at the beginning of the season and then trailed off at the end of the season is Stuart Skinner. So this season, like, it's pretty, well, I'm not going to say pretty crazy, because again, Oilers did switch goalie coaches from Dustin Schwartz to Aubrey. I'm sorry, I forgot his first name, but like there seems to have been some change in Stuart Skinner. His goals against so far for the year, 2.14 GAA so far, and his save percentage 0.909. So that's pretty impressive based on what we've seen from Skinner. Where at the beginning of the year he just completely just combusts into like some fiery ashes, and then picks himself up near the middle of the season, maybe around like November and December, and puts together a pretty good run like he did last year. I believe he played in 24 games in the middle of the year, and he had like a 0.920 save percentage. And after that, he went back to average, and then in the playoffs, just kept tumbling down. This season, he seems to have started off pretty well. And I think him losing weight, which I made fun of at the beginning of the season, that and switching goalie coaches has helped him quite a bit. This was something I read on HF Boards. I'm a member there, and I have some friends there, so a shout out to that website. Great website for hockey fans and Oilers fans in general. From there, what I learned was Skinner stays more deeper in the net. He's like a pretty big guy. Like we've seen how big he is. He did lose weight, but at the same time, we know how tall he is. We know wearing goalie equipment, it's gonna make him look a bit taller than, more bigger than some other goalies that we know in the NHL. Based off that, staying deeper, it's made him easy to go like side to side lateral movement. We saw that yesterday actually on that save on that 2-0. I don't know how the Oilers allowed that, but on that 2-0 where he made that great save on I believe it was I forgot the player's name, but yeah, in the second period he made that save where the puck went right by Bouchard and Ekholm, I believe, and he made the save on that 2-0. That was very impressive. Not just because Skinner went side to side, he went side to side with his glove hand up. And by doing that, he was able to save that, and he stayed in that position, and he was able to control where the puck was going. It went into the corner, and the Oilers were able to get it out. But from that, you can tell that Skinner has more handle over his game, and his new goalie coach, Peter Aubrey, that's his name, he's really helped him in that regard. One thing that not everyone knows about goaltenders is that big goalies, they don't really play outside of their like let's call it the blue area. They usually stay a bit deep because well they're bigger, and for bigger goalies, it is hard to move side to side. Now, if you're deeper in your net, if you move side to side, it's much easier. Like I'm not an expert on goaltending, but at least that's what I read. So, from what we've seen from Skinner, he can move side to side, and he's been very good this season when it comes to that. But Skinner still has that problem where maybe he allows the odd bad goal. That's only happened twice so far. That goal, I'm still gonna say that Finney goal was on Skinner because it kind of looked like he was guessing where the puck was going, and also the first goal in the Calgary game, which I'm not gonna bring up now because we already know, like, it wasn't. It was just a big mix-up, and I'm sure if we go back to that game again, Skinner wouldn't allow that to happen. But yeah, very good start for Stuart Skinner so far. So I'm very pleased to see that, and I'm very pleased that a lot of people are probably gonna get at me for this. So I deserve it. But again, knock on wood. Let's just hope this continues for the rest of the season. If it does, great. Then the Oilers don't need to look for a starting goaltender. And they also have Connor Ingram in the AHL, who's actually started off pretty strong. His first game was very good. Creating this kind of competition, it might just make both goalies what the Oilers need so far. And then they can just take it from there, and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. So moving on from that, we need to look at the road trip that also occurred. In this road trip for the Oilers, it started off pretty good. A good shutout for Stuart Skinner, even though the Oilers played terribly in that LA game. It was great to see Frederick score his first goal and then just disappear after that. Also in that game, they defensively they were actually pretty good. They didn't allow that many shots. Skinner got a shutout, and the Oilers went on their merry way up into the next game, I believe, on the island. And after that, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened to the Oilers. Maybe they had like a massive hangover from a dinner they had with the rookies the night before. But I don't know. They just completely blew apart. And okay, this is going to be a little bit of a rant, so I'm very sorry if people came in here for hockey advice. I'll have a little bit of information on the Oilers after, but just uh, when it comes to the Oilers coaching staff, they had Paul Coffey, they had Gultson, they still have Mark Stewart. When they had those people, like you could see that the Oilers they were attacking the middle more instead of like staying to the outside. With that coaching staff, they were attacking the middle, they were going towards the net, and that's exactly how like the Oilers were playing, and that's exactly how they should have been playing because of based on the players that they have. Now, I'm not putting this like basically on the coaching staff; it's on the players too. Majority of them didn't show up, just like last season. But you can just tell with the way that the Oilers are playing now, it seems like more on the defense, like on the defense. It seems like instead of rushing the puck out all the time, they're asked to pass the puck out more. The problem with that is before Wallman came back into the lineup, the only two players that can make adequate passes, first passes, sorry, out of the zone are Ekholm and Bouchard. And you know what? Regula was very good, pretty decent at that as well. Kulak is okay at that. Nurse is terrible at that. Darnell Nurse is more of a puck rushing defenseman, and like it seems like he doesn't do it as much as he did last year, and that's causing issues for the team because Nurse's first pass is not great. And I know all the Darnell Nurse haters are gonna love this, but I don't want to bash on him too much because I am when we drafted him, the Oilers drafted him. Sorry, I am a pretty big fan of his. So he needs to either start making a better pass or he should just revert back to his old game where he rushes the puck. Because the way Nurse is playing right now, it's not helped them in any kind of sense when it comes to defensive hockey, and it looks like that's not really helped him in terms of his offensive game because he's kind of losing confidence. Bouchard, on the other hand, he has a great first pass, but for some reason, um, he just I don't know. It's not working out so far for him at least. Maybe it's just a slow start for him. He always starts slow, but you can see he's made a ton of mistakes so far this year that he usually doesn't make at times, like in the playoffs, for example. And even last season, he didn't make this many bad mistakes. Comey, you can tell, has gotten a bit slower due to age, which is fine. I mean, we totally expected that. But seeing Wallman back in the lineup, it seems like the Oilers have their top four that they needed. And Jake Wallman just, I mean, he even said he wasn't 100% that game. But from what I saw, I thought he was pretty dang good, like pretty good at what he was doing. So, like I can't wait to see him at 100%. So we'll see what happens when Wallman is at 100%. And okay, the next part of this rant is I don't know what Nabla is doing with this forward group. It's it doesn't make any sense to me how he's like making these lines. Last game I didn't mind them, except like what like let me breathe. Okay, I'm not sure what he's trying to do with the Oilers rookies with Philp, Savoie, and Howard. Noah Philp. He scored his first NHL goal. He had a really good game. He even got into some rough stuff, and that's a good part of his game. He was, I think, first star in that game. He scored his first goal, and then he got scratched, which made no sense to me. He didn't just get scratched for one game. He got scratched for almost 2 to 3 games for no reason at all. Like I'm going back. I like keep thinking back to that game, and I can't see where he made a mistake that would cause him to be a healthy scratch. So I'm still confused as to why that happened. Now, when he gets back in, he scored. And even in the Ottawa game, he was great. So I'm not sure why he was scratched. Like some magic trick by Nabla to bring him back in or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish. But Philip was back into the lineup, and I think you can tell he's been very good at it, very good at his position, and you can tell he's still got some more offensive instinct in him, and I think he can turn into a third line scorer. Maybe not at center, maybe at wing, but he's definitely got the potential to hit that. Okay, Savoie and Howard. Savoie is actually showing that he can do quite a bit defensively and offensively. He's created so many chances just by himself alone. And the only problem is, well, it's not really a problem. He's still young. Is that he can't finish them. That those 2 chances he had in Ottawa, if he had just finished like one of them, it would have been great. I mean, the amount of effort he puts in, it is great, and his hockey sense is so good that his size isn't really that big of an issue. I just can't wait to see Savoy after maybe like 5 more games. I think he'll score next game, and then after that, that'll just help his confidence even more. Howard, on the other hand, it took him a bit of time to get used to where he is. Although it doesn't really help that you're on the fourth line for every game, getting 10 minutes a night when you could be getting a bit more ice time. He scored his first NHL goal the other night with Draisaitl, not Henrique. Draisaitl. He was on the top line, and he got an opportunity with them, and he scored. And then he got put back to the fourth line. But yeah, his goal was really nice. You can tell he's got that offensive IQ. He didn't just rush towards the net like a rambling fourth line grinder. He actually stopped, waited for the puck, and shot it, and just blazed right by Linus Ullmark. So you can tell there's like both players are gaining confidence. Savoy, you can tell he's done more than enough in the AHL. Sending him down would do nothing. Howard, 3 games ago, I would have said that he needs AHL time. Now I'm not so sure. It could have been just a confidence issue with him, but we're not going to know that until he gets more ice time, and that's the biggest problem here. Chris Nabla is not using his rookies as regular NHLers. He keeps putting players like Vasily Podkolzin and Kasperi Kapanen in the top 6 and Trent Frederick in the top 6 instead of carrying over players like Savoy, Howard. And that's not helping the players at all. Yes, put them on the bottom 6 if you want, but I mean, how's that going to help their development? Put them in the top 6. If they work out, great. If they don't, then you put them back on the third line or the fourth line, or you send them to the AHL. Learning lesson for them. But I don't know. Chris Nabla, it seems like he's like scared to do that, or he's just nervous to do that. I'm not 100% sure what he's trying to accomplish by doing that. But we saw some good things, and Chris Nabla's interview actually after the game against Ottawa, it really surprised me because he did say that like it seemed like he seemed a little apologetic that Isaac Howard wasn't getting enough ice time and not enough ice time at all on the power play. So I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I'm spitballing, but it just seems like there's a little bit of hint of maybe him getting more ice time in the coming games and more time on the power play. I guess we'll see how the lineup is tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe he'll be with McDavid and Draisaitl. I don't know. I mean, I hope he is because Podkolzin, when he was on that line, he did not play really good. He was forcing passes. He was getting passes from defense, and then he couldn't rush them. Vasily Podkolzin is the third line winger. I don't see him as like a top six winger, like I guess some fans may. He had 6 goals last year. I think a majority of us know what he is. He's a third line winger. I mean, if he can pot 10 to 12 goals, that's great. He should be on the penalty kill. Just like Noah Philp, they should be on the penalty kill instead of players like McDavid and Draisaitl. Why are your top stars on the penalty kill? They're just going to get injured from that. Sure, do that in the playoffs if you want, but don't do that during the regular season. I mean, how's that going to help them? All you're going to do is injure them. Players like Noah Philp, Savoie, Podkolzin, maybe Frederick, although I'm not 100% sure on Frederick's on defensive game, they should be on the penalty kill. Use your bottom six for the penalty kill. Henrique's been good on it, but just don't put your top six on there, like other than RNH, who's actually got good time on the penalty kill. So I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow, but that was just a bit of my rant. I guess we'll see how Skinner's game keeps going. I think he'll probably start against Montreal, but Skinner, I really think that based off how he's played so far, I said I wouldn't really put any faith in him unless he starts playing like that up until the trade deadline. I think that he may have just proved me wrong already, but I guess we'll see what happens. You know what? Knock on wood. I'm not going to jinx that. We don't know about Stuart Skinner. Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 0. But again, Godspeed to Stuart Skinner. Hopefully he's able to turn into the Oilers starting goalie. If not, you have Connor Ingram in the AHL, who started off very good. Connor's won 2-1 with him. He made 21 saves. According to Bruce Carlock, he seemed pretty pretty calm in the net, composed, and apparently he doesn't move as much in the net, which is actually kind of good. I mean, he doesn't flail around like some other goalies, which is a good thing, and it helps also with injury wise, because you're not going to get injured if you don't flail around too much, right? All right, I'm gonna move on to just a little bit of rumor talk, I guess. The Alex Tuch rumors are still in the air. Frank Saravalli reported. This is from NHL Rumors reports from Twitter. According to Frank Saravalli, the Alex Tuch contract conversations with Buffalo, they're still at a standstill, and it seems like teams like the Oilers and Boston, have inquired about him already. So it seems like the Oilers are definitely going to be going for Alex Tuch if he doesn't sign a contract with Buffalo sooner rather than later. So we'll see about that. There's also one thing that did interest me. Jack Roslovic, he isn't what I expected, and he's got 1 assist with the Oilers so far, but it seems like his no movement clause, there's some I forgot what it was, but it seems like his no movement clause changes in November when Hyman gets back. It's going to be down to 4 teams that he can be traded to. So that kind of tells me that maybe his time in Edmonton is limited and it's not going to be long term. David Pagnotta said that on Hello Hockey as well. Maybe there's a chance the Oilers do trade him and he doesn't stay in Edmonton for too long. That would surprise me because I'm actually a big fan of Jack Roslovic. But again, I guess we'll see with that. Third, what I wanted to discuss was what Bob Stauffer said on Oilers Now. He also said it during the second intermission during the Oilers and Ottawa game that since Sam O'Reilly is off the prospect pool, there's an opportunity here for the Oilers to sign a 23 to 24-year-old right-handed center, and it seems like he keeps hinting towards college. Now, there's some players that I think the Oilers could look at. There's not many centers who are 23 to 24 years old who are 6'3", but there is one center who's around that height, although he's not as tall as 6'3", but I think who he's hinting towards is TJ Hughes. So he plays in Michigan, Michigan University, I believe, and he's actually gotten some really good stats this season. Right now, he's like on close to a point per game to over a point per game, and he's been playing very well. He's more of a playmaker, and he's pretty decent in terms of size. But every year, all of his points were actually pretty good. So it's surprising to me that he never got drafted. I think this is a player that probably should get drafted or should have got drafted. Sorry, he's already 23 to 24 years old, so he's ready for AHL hockey and maybe NHL hockey. So he's around that area where Quinn Hudson is, and from all reports, Quinn Hudson has started in the AHL very, very well. So glad to see that from Quinn, and hopefully TJ Hughes is the guy that Oilers sign. Bob Stauffer on Oilers now did say it's going to be maybe in the next 12 months. So if it is him, like this is just me guessing, it's TJ Hughes. But if it is him, then I think the Oilers may get another home run here. A player that can just be maybe a third line winger or center, or maybe more. I don't know, but if he turns out to be a third line player, if the Oilers do sign him, then I say that's a home run. All right, so that was just the video for today. Just a little bit of a rant and just a little bit of analysis of how the Oilers played on the weekend and a little bit of rumor talk. Although I think everybody probably knows about this based off Twitter and just social media. So just like I said earlier, I'm gonna have a mic. There's gonna be better camera work and better backgrounds, and also there may be a guest coming in the next couple of videos. But we'll see when that's gonna happen. Probably give an update on my personal X account or on my or on our Puckin Around podcast Twitter account as well. So to everyone that's watching and to all the subscribers that are now subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you guys liked the video, just leave a like on the or a comment on the right below, and I'll just see you next time. Thanks, guys. Peace.